Yo, what's good, everybody? What up, YouTube world? It's your boy S to the B to the X, back with it with a returning video. I know it's been a while since I've done any videos, so I'm back, and I just feel like I want to just, talk to all the viewers out there who are watching this video. I just kind of feel like, I want to talk about what's going on with the gaming industry and, like, especially with Sony PlayStation. And, you know, basically saying that, you know, for now on, when 2028 hits, it's going to be just nothing but digital, releases of a game, no more physical copies. So I have basically some mixed feelings about it, and majority of them is not really good. Well, one half I would say that is good is that, I mean, I'm not hating on a digital version because I feel like digital versions of games is very convenient. Just in case if you want to buy a game and you're too lazy to go to GameStop or any other game store or whatever the scenario is. But from my opinion, I really don't like the idea of for people who can't get a physical copy of a game. And you know I just kind of feel like, it's unreasonable, and all that is going to shit on a lot of Sony PlayStation, fans, the members who have a, PlayStation Network account, and just old school gamers unite, you know what I'm saying? So I know that the video game industry and just gaming in general has changed for some years now, 40 plus years. And I feel like, with video games, I was just hoping that, this will be still there. But I get that we're living in different times now, and we're in 2026, going on 2027 real soon. So, I would say that I don't really like the fact that people can't play a physical copy. Because what if somebody can't afford the internet? They don't have no internet. You know? How are they going to play the game if it's a multiplayer game and they can't play it online? You know what I'm saying? What happens if people, have their accounts hacked and they can't even own their game? Because once you have it on your account, that's it. Once you switch to another account, you can't play it unless whoever was the owner of the game is from that account. People get hacked every day. You know what I'm saying? They and the game could be encrypted. So I feel like I don't really understand why Sony would do that to people. It's already enough that some people bought a PlayStation 5. Some people still have a 4, but my point is that I'm not gonna be biased against other consoles. Like, I play Xbox, I play Nintendo, but I'm always gonna ride for PlayStation. I've always had all the consoles growing up. So, and most of them were disc. And I feel like it needs to keep on with the tradition of aspect of playing games from a disc, you know. But I just feel like it's not right for people who can't afford uh the digital version of PlayStation. I got a P5 and it's basically the disc version. But I would also appreciate buying a game that is digital version too, you know? And I feel like one of these days, if PlayStation would, sell just games that is just no disc, then in the future, I'm seeing probably Xbox and Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo, Switch 2 or whatever, or there's going to be a Switch 3. or another Xbox series. You know, my point is they might change it to the point that it's going to be, straight digital only. So I think the games are just going to go to the digital stage. But my whole point is this though. You got some people who want to collect video games, play them as long as they live, you know, but at the end of the day, I know, for example, with Grand Theft Auto, which I'm going to do a video on next, will be the fact that they're going to, release a game really soon in November, but yet there's no, physical copy of that game. So I feel like, you know, they're just following the same wave because, yes, the digital era is where it's at, but, you know, I still feel like CDs are still necessary to the gaming industry too. I mean, I get that nobody plays CD or use a CD player no more, or hell, don't even use a DVD player neither. But for people who wants to play CDs, they can play CDs on the PlayStation and Xbox or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you can't with these new games these days. You know what I'm saying? Everything is straight digital at this point. So you have no choice but to understand and realize. But I still think it's still bullshit to an extent that people can't play the digital. That means you can't, like I said, you can't own the games. Whatever you download, you don't own. Movies, your library, you don't own that shit no more. So it's crazy that, I feel like, Sony is doing that shit. So that's basically shitting on a lot of PlayStation members. But to each his own, I'ma still play PlayStation. I don't care if I get to be uh older, being like in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70. Hopefully I can still be alive to still play with the next PlayStation gen. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm not feeling what they're doing, but I just have no choice but to just accept it. But preferably, I feel like I would like to get a disc, especially if it's like one of the top games I played growing up. Ain't it ain't nothing better like holding and owning a physical copy. You know. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this video up. I'd like to know everybody's comment. Please leave your comments on the comment sections below what you think, if you for it or against it. Don't forget to hit that bell icon, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. SBX wrapping us up. Thanks for watching. Peace out.